My teachers told me I'll never amount to much because I procrastinate so much. I told them, just you wait.
Grab a chair, messy wheel, this is down. It's my podcast. This guy's insane. Rock your brain. It's just a sound. It's the Viera Vault.
Hey, Schmack-a-Magab, it's another Viera Vault, and I am so honored to have Will Carroll from Death Angel here. How you doing, Will?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm really happy to hear you're doing great with the ordeal you dealt with coming back from your European tour.
Yeah.
Which I know a lot of people know about it, but just in case, and we won't, Will, I've been watching your interviews.
Uh-huh.
And I know a lot of people want to hear about, what you went through. So, we'll do a little quick thing because we're going to talk music, man.
Cool.
And, but you did come back with the corona. You caught the coronavirus, and it was, you were even in a coma, right?
Yeah, for 12 days.
12 days, man. And, I was keeping up on you, man, because Blabbermouth kept, putting up stories, and I saw stories in other places like, Will Carroll's in a coma, and I was like, oh, no,
Yeah.
And I was so happy to hear that you recovered, and you feel 100% fine now?
Totally. I'm pretty much like unscathed by it. I'm one of the lucky ones. Like my lungs recovered completely and my heart recovered completely. So I'm lucky. I'm lucky.
Well, we're glad to have you, man, because believe me, I was not only B, man, but I consider myself a proud Death Angel fan, and we're all worried about you, and I'm so happy to have you back.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the fans rallying behind me and just sending me positive vibes. It really helps. I'm stoked.
And I think that's probably some of it. What I had was really nothing compared to you, but a couple months ago, well, yeah, it's been 2 months. I was in the hospital. I got an abscess. You know what those are?
Oh yeah.
My face. It was really painful, and then I was in the hospital, and I think the power of prayer, man, really got me out because they said I was going to be in there for 10 days. I was out in 4.
Wow.
So yeah, I think it's really important for people to send positive thoughts because I really do believe that works, man.
Me too. I never really like considered prayer at all. I didn't believe in it, and I wasn't a very spiritual guy. But ever since this whole thing has happened, I definitely have changed my views on prayer and positive energy. I was way into dark stuff before this all happened, and I'm still into dark stuff, but I appreciate the light stuff too now.
Well, yeah, especially what you went through. You had this horrible dream,
Yeah, yeah,
and I don't know how that can't wake anybody up, having a dream like that.
totally. It seems so real, and just when I came to at the hospital, I was so confused because I didn't remember going to the hospital. So when I woke up, I was like, "Whoa, where the hell am I?" And the whole staff, at least when I first woke up, everyone I saw was Asian. So I didn't know where in the world I was. I thought I was maybe in China or somewhere. It was just really weird. I was very confused when I woke up, and it wasn't until like maybe almost a day later that they started telling me what city I was in. And once I found out I was in San Francisco, I was very relieved. So yeah, it was a trip, man.
Yeah, and when you woke up from that, how many days from then to when you were actually released from the hospital?
I think it was like 6 days.
Oh man, so you were in there what, like 3 months, 2 months?
Oh no. I was in there for the coma was 12 days, and then I
Okay,
stayed. I was there for like 18 days, something like 18 days.
and you had the respirator and all that.
Yeah. I was struggling to breathe when I was home. My fiance was like, "Oh, right when I got home from the tour, she was like, "Oh, you look terrible and you sound terrible," and I tried to self medicate and just like quarantined myself and stayed in bed for a couple of days, and it wasn't getting any better. And once I started struggling to breathe, like even when I was asleep, I was struggling to breathe. But I'm a heavy snorer, so that's kind of normal. But when I was awake, conscious, and I was struggling to breathe, that was something different. So, yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, I was delirious from fever those last couple of days before I went to the hospital, and then like once I woke up from the coma, I had to learn how to walk again.
Oh wow.
12 days of inactivity really wreaks havoc on your body and on your legs, man.
Right.
I can't imagine what people who have a coma for years. I can't imagine what their body has to go through.
It would be a way longer rehabilitation for them,
Totally.
Probably take weeks and stuff. But hey, man, like I said, we're so glad. And, I live in Florida, so there's a huge spike here. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty much a hermit. That's why when you said, hey, well, whenever you want to do this, dude, I'm home all the time. I can do it anytime.
I feel you, man. I'm definitely staying indoors as much as possible myself, and I mean, it's not so bad. I have a lot of toys and stuff. I'm very much like you. I'm a collector, and
Right.
uh, I can like entertain myself for weeks at a time in my apartment.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what I'd do without my vinyls and CDs and DVDs. I'd go nuts.
Totally.
But we have a mutual friend, and this is how we became friendly with each other. Because I have a group, Almost Human. I have a YouTube called Almost Human, and it just so happens that day I always change the cover every day, and that day I just put up a Death Angel picture.
Yeah.
And our friend Aaron was like, "Hey, I know Will. We go. I think he said you go golfing or something.
Yeah, him and I play disc golf, like frisbee golf.
Oh, okay. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what is that. I don't know what that is.
I mean, like rules wise, it's the same principle as golf. There's 18 holes and you're on a green, but instead of hitting golf balls, you're throwing a frisbee, and like each basket, and instead of a hole, it's a basket.
Oh.
It's like 3 par, 4 par. So you have 3 throws to try to get it all the way down to the basket and get it in. And there's a putter disc, a driver disc. I have a whole bunch of different ones. So I'm just getting into it. I'm kind of new to it all, but it's a great way to exercise and it's pretty fun.
That sounds like fun, man. I don't think there's any of that down here. Must be a
I'll
San
bet you.
Francisco thing.
No, I'll bet you there is, man. I'll bet you if you look up disc golf courses in Florida or near you, you'll find one. It's pretty popular.
Okay, I will look into it.
Yeah.
And Aaron said that you watch my videos, and I was blown away by that. He loves your videos. He thinks you're funny. I was like, are you serious? You
Yeah,
know,
man.
I was.
I I watched you for like when you were doing all the Kiss albums. I must have watched you for like 5 or 6 hours straight one day on
Wow.
YouTube. Yeah, my girl was like, "What the hell are you watching?" And I'm like, "Oh, this guy's funny, man. He's talking about Kiss, and yeah, I watched every single review and other stuff you've done. But I mean, I'm a huge Kiss nut, so I was really interested in what you had to say,
Yeah,
and I agree, and
go
I
ahead.
agree with most of it.
That's awesome, and some you didn't agree with, and we'll find out. I mean, but that's the beauty of human nature, man. I mean, I don't know if you venture into my comments there, I get comments from people that are like, "You suck. You don't like this song." It's like, it's really. I mean, what's your philosophy on people that don't like something you like? I mean, do you find it bizarre? Because I do.
That if someone gets like upset about it, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think it's bizarre, and anyway, it's a total two-way street here. You know what I mean? Like, so I enjoy talking about music and like critiquing it, and I almost enjoy it more when someone disagrees with me because then it's an interesting conversation instead of just agreeing with everything and just going along. Like so, and a lot of times if someone that knows what they're talking about and they disagree with me, I usually learn something from it. And sometimes I end up agreeing with them. Like, yeah, you know what? That album isn't that good. So
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I like sparring with people, especially over Kiss.
Yeah, thank you because I was sparring. I don't. Do you know the band called Deceased?
Of course.
King Fowley.
Yeah.
I'm buddies with them, and we were on tour. I was on tour, and he was going off on Easy as It Seems from Kiss Unmasked, and I'm like, dude, that shit's terrible, you know? We
I
went
hate
back
that
and
song.
forth.
I
You
hate
hate?
that song too, dude. I fucking hate it.
Yep, I did too, but I came around, Will. I don't know what's
Really?
wrong with me. Yeah, I love it now. I still don't like that album. I love Naked City. I even like Shandy somewhat, but and Easy as It Seems. The rest I can care. And I'm the biggest Ace fan, and I don't like those Ace songs.
Really? That's crazy. Like those are my three favorite songs on the album. Are the Ace songs?
Yeah, so
Uh,
see, maybe later on I'm gonna end up liking them because King influenced me. Maybe you will too. You know?
yeah, dude. I mean, when on Easy as It Seems, when the bongos, like right at the beginning, there's bongos.
Yeah,
Oh God, dude.
it's
Kiss.
so disco.
Yeah, man. Kiss should not have bongos, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, you liked Almost Human, the song?
Oh hell yeah.
Was that
Well, yeah, there's
bongos or
bongos in that
congos?
song.
Or is it congos? I don't know. It's one
Whatever,
of it.
but somehow it works in that tune. It doesn't sound out of place or bother me at all. But when I hear it on Easy as It Seems, it just gives me douche chills right away.
And what do you think of Unmasked as a whole?
It's definitely at the bottom of my list of if I had to list all the Kiss albums, it would be in the bottom five. But over the years, I used to hate it. I mean, I absolutely hated it when it came out. I was pretty young, but I was old enough to know that Kiss was losing it. I was like, Jesus. Um, and so over the years, I've lightened up on it, and I've always liked the Ace songs. Even back then, I thought the Ace songs were like the rockers on the album. But I like the first song a lot now. Is That You? And
Hmm.
Naked City. I didn't like that song for many years, and now I love that song. The lyrics are awesome, and yeah, so I've lightened up on it, but it's still at the bottom of my list. And
What would be at the very bottom, Will? At the very, very bottom.
what would be at the very bottom for me, counting the solo albums?
No.
Okay, because obviously it would be Peter Criss
Yeah.
by a long shot. But for Kiss records, at the bottom two would be Hot in the Shade and Crazy Nights.
Same here, but I would put Crazy Nights at the bottom, then Hot in the Shade. I used to not feel that way. I used to hate Hot in the Shade more. But I realized later on there was a couple songs that I didn't mind on Hot in the Shade. Man, I can't find one song on Crazy Nights I like. I like the beginning of No No No. That's about
Yeah,
it. That's about it. You know, it's
yeah.
just
I remember when Crazy Nights was coming out, and the single for Crazy Nights came out before the album, like how it usually does. And I saw the video, and I was just mortified. I couldn't believe how bad it was. And I bought the 45, and the B side is No No No. And I heard that, and I was like, oh, well, maybe this is going to be a pretty heavy album. It's just Crazy Nights is a single, and they're trying to sell some records. But yeah, like My Way, and oh, dude, those songs
oh,
are really bad, man.
My Way and Bang Bang You. Jesus.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Terrible.
I saw that tour, and Bang Bang You was on the set list. Believe it or not.
Oh, yeah. It was like the second or third song of the show.
What
I,
the hell were they thinking? You know,
when you saw that tour, who was opening?
Ted Nugent.
Over here, it was Anthrax.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah. I remember they did that tour. Yeah.
and it was the Among the Living tour. So, I mean, they fucking blew Kiss away, dude. It was sad. I mean, I would never think it'd be possible for a band to blow away Kiss at any point in their career, but Anthrax crushed them. It was
That
really
was, yeah,
it was a
that
bummer.
was the worst Kiss show too. It's like very short. The stage was bland, and it just wasn't a good. Was that the first time you saw Kiss?
No, oh God, if it was, I may not still be a Kiss fan. The first time I saw him was Asylum,
Okay, right before that.
and that wasn't. To be quite honest, I mean, in comparison to other tours I've seen and videos of older tours and stuff, that tour wasn't that good either, man. Like their set list was kind of eh, but
Yeah,
it was my very first concert, and Wasp was opening on Last Command,
same thing
and
here. Same lineup.
yeah. So I mean, it was an exciting, good show, but in hindsight, they were starting to lose it by then on that tour. But yeah, Crazy Nights. The stage sucked. Um, there wasn't like you said, there was really bland. There wasn't anything to it. The set was only like an hour and 15 minutes long.
Right.
Um, and Was that the tour they? Or maybe that was Asylum. They did "Won't Get Fooled Again." On one of those tours, they ended
I,
the show with "Won't Get Fooled Again," and that was
you
really
know, I
funny.
think I think they did it both tours. I could be wrong, but yeah, toward the end during was it before Black Diamond or before some song? It was the
Yeah, it was
encore.
exactly. And that on that tour on Crazy Nights, they opened up with Love Gun, I believe,
Right, they did. Yes, they did.
and that was surprising. But I don't know. It's not the I don't know if that's the greatest opening track. They have better songs to open with.
My first will was Creatures of the Night.
You fucking bastard.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing. I probably wouldn't have gone to that show because when Creatures of the Night came out, I did see it. I didn't care because by then, I'm older than you. I'm 55 now. So
Okay.
at 15, when Unmasked came out, I didn't even buy. I saw the Shandy video on Don Kirshner Rock Concert or Midnight
Uh
Special, and I was like, oh fuck Kiss, and I got really really into the new wave of British heavy metal, Saxon Maiden. I
Yeah.
was really enamored with that. And Van Halen,
Yeah.
that I didn't care about Kiss. And in 1982, my friend came by with the cassette of Creatures of the Night. I was like, you ain't putting that on. Fuck Kiss. No, no, you got to hear this. I was like, all right, put it on. And it blew my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, and that's why I went to that. And the tour was coming shortly after. And I don't know how big a fan you are, but man, I was blown away by opening act was the Plasmatics.
Oh, that's
Um,
sick. That's
yeah,
awesome.
Coup d'etat, which to this day is like probably my top 10 favorite albums of all time. I ran out and bought that album afterwards. They
Yeah.
were great. Kiss was. I'm telling you, Will. I flew to New York because my friend got me skybox seats to 3 of the 4 Union shows, which was
I
phenomenal.
know.
But I
I
gotta,
know. I've watched you talk about it a couple times. Yeah.
God, that's so awesome. The drummer of Death Angel knows this.
Yeah.
But yeah, and but man, there was something special about that Creature store. They were hungry, they needed something to prove,
Sure.
and it was just a phenomenal show. I saw Lick It Up afterwards, which was great, but it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
Um,
Over here, Motley Crue opened. I didn't see that. I mean, obviously, I didn't see it, but my older brother, that was his first concert, was Creatures of the Night and Motley Crue opening, which would have been cool as well because it was pre Shout at the Devil.
yeah, yeah, Too Fast for Love.
Yeah, but they were doing Shout at the Devil songs, but
Oh wow.
it was still considered the Too Fast for Love tour cycle. But I would have loved to have seen that. But then Plasmatics, that's awesome too, man. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I knew of them, but when I saw that live and her chainsaw and a fucking Les Paul, and I was like, whoa! And you know what? I remember vividly the crowd wasn't into it, and I was. I was just so into it, and everybody was like, "What the hell is this?"
Where was that?
West Palm Beach Auditorium.
Okay.
Yeah, that was, and here's another thing, and I don't know if this happened in San Francisco at that show, but on my ride to the show on the radio, they said Ace Frehley was in a car accident, so they have somebody else filling in. I was so pissed. I was like, what? Because Ace is my favorite. Ace is my guy.
Yeah.
But, and, hey, look, Vinny's a whack job, but man, was he awesome in Kiss,
Dude,
because,
he saved Kiss.
yeah, yeah, that's a big controversy, with some people say he didn't. I think he did because those songs he wrote, and
They're
his playing,
wicked.
they're wicked,
Yeah.
I Look It Up, which I know, because just like you look at me, I know your favorite Kiss album is Look It Up.
Yep.
And those songs he wrote on that album are just so Million to One. And do you know, I've said this several times on YouTube. My all-time favorite Kiss song is Young and Wasted.
I know. I've seen you say that. And it's
And
awesome that Eric Carr was singing live. That was great.
yeah, yeah. I don't recall if he did that on a Lick It Up tour, but I know he did that on Animalize.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I know you're an Eric Carr guy. You didn't like Peter Criss?
Nah, not really, man. Like, uh, his songs were always the weaker tunes on the albums. I think not the first three. Like early Peter Criss is really killer, and he was still playing with fire, kind of like he was aggressive on the drums. Like on Kiss Alive, he's great, but by Kiss Alive 2, he's just kind of it sounds like he's. I love Kiss Alive too. I'm not dissing Kiss Alive too, but drumming wise, it sounds like he's just kind of going through the motions and just keeping time instead of really belting it out. And his solo album, it's inexcusable. It's so bad.
And I've grown to like it, Will. I'm not going to lie. I used to hate it just as much as you, but I'm getting old, man. So some of those songs grew on me. But, man, that's my favorite Kiss drummer. And I'm talking about Dress to Kill, Alive. He had that swing, man. And nothing against Eric Carr, because I loved Eric Carr.
Yeah.
Eric Carr was more of a Bonham-esque, that drum sound on Creature of the Night is just so badass.
I know. I can't believe they didn't stick with that. I mean,
there's a funny story behind that. There was I can't remember who it was, but there was a guy that went to dinner with Gene and said to Gene, why didn't you keep the drum sound on Creatures on Lick It Up? And he said, because Creatures didn't sell. That was the philosophy.
That's stupid as hell, man.
Yeah. Because can you imagine Exciter and all that with that drum sound?
Yeah.
It would have been wicked. So you got into Kiss, what was it, like 5 years old or something, I think I heard?
Yeah. When Kiss Alive 2 was brought home, either my sister or my brother, someone bought it and brought it home, and I just took a look at it, and it just piqued my interest. I was already into horror movies and Star Wars and stuff by that time. And when I opened the gatefold, it was like looking at a real life horror movie, Star Wars / rock and roll, like just everything all into one. I just couldn't believe what I was looking at. And then when I listened to it, I mean, that Kiss Alive 2 is so bombastic, with the bombs, no pun intended, but just the production, and it's just so loud, and the crowd's going ape shit. No other live album has a crowd that sound like that, It just sounds like mayhem, and it was just it matched the Inner Sleeve picture perfectly with the fans going crazy and the confetti. It just matched it perfectly, and I was captured by it.
That gatefold, dude, is the coolest Kiss picture ever.
Totally, man.
There's talk that was like a little superimposed. They added flames and stuff. I was like, I don't care. It's still a badass picture.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not from a real moment in the show. Like, not everything is going off all at once like that. Like they did a special photo shoot, I believe, and just said blow everything up at once, and we'll take a picture of it. So I mean, whether it's 100% real or not, I don't give a shit. The album itself isn't 100% real.
Yeah.
So I love it. It's fucking awesome. The only other live album I would compare the gatefold to is Live After Death. That's a great shot too.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And a great album cover.
Yeah, totally.
But I'm not into that album, dude.
I'm not anymore. I'm not anymore either. When it came out, I got really caught up in the whole thing, and I loved the live concert movie.
Yeah.
The album cover was so killer, and I was so into Power Slave and the whole World Slavery Tour, all that hoopla. I was way into it, so I loved Live After Death when it came out. But whenever I revisit it nowadays, they sound tired, kind of. Or Bruce Dickinson sounds tired.
Bruce does, and I've had arguments. When I say, look, I'm not a fan of Live After Death. I love Beast Over Hammersmith, the Number of the Beast tour, because Bruce sounded so good on that.
Yeah, he's hitting all the high notes on that one.
Exactly. And then the people that defend Live After Death say to me, well, you got to understand, it was late in the tour. Bruce wasn't sounding good. And I was like, and you like it? It's like, you're arguing with me. And I'm saying I don't like Bruce's voice on it. And then you make an excuse for his voice. And you even admit what I don't like about the album. And you're still arguing with me? What the fuck, man? But that's, sometimes fandom gets the best of people,
For sure.
My all-time favorite band of all time, Will, is 70s Sabbath. I love the Dio stuff. I'm a big fan of Born Again. I just love all that stuff. But what they did to Bill Ward in 2011, I think it was, man, I got so mad. I ran around calling them Backstabbeth, what they did to Bill, It's like, so, even my favorite band of all time, I'll be critical if I see something I don't like. But there's a lot of people that just can't do it, and they'll defend it to the end, which I understand to an extent. But then there's other extent that, dude, you're kind of sheepish, you know?
Totally. Talking about the Bill Ward thing, I totally agree with you. It sucks what they did to him, and me being a drummer, and I'm going to be Bill Ward's age one day, and I'm going to be slowing down and not be able to play quite like how I used to. But I gotta say, when I saw Sabbath with his replacement, they sounded fucking awesome. That drummer is fucking killer, man.
Oh, yeah, he's great. He's from Ozzy's band.
Yeah, yeah. He did the Bill Ward drum parts justice, and he
Yeah,
wasn't overplaying or trying to put too much of his own style in and show off or anything like that. He kept true to the songs, and the first time I saw Sabbath with Bill Ward was their first reunion tour,
yeah.
and Bill Ward didn't play so good, man. I mean, I still had a great time, and the show was like one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. I'll never forget it. But I do remember Bill Ward making quite a few mistakes, and he just seemed like he was struggling to get through the set. So I can kind
Right.
of understand why Sabbath wanted to replace him. It still sucks, but I could understand.
Well, I mean, it was a money issue. They were going to do it if he accepted the peanuts they were going to offer him. They were still going to take him out, you know?
Yeah, yeah. The way it went down totally sucks.
Yeah,
It
that's what pissed me off, you know? I was like, fuck, how can you do that to this guy? And, if you know your Sabbath history, they always picked on Bill,
Oh
you know?
yeah,
One
yeah,
time they had to take Bill to the hospital because they painted him in gold.
yeah,
And his pores couldn't, you cover the pores with paint, he couldn't breathe. Like, you need oxygen, you know?
totally.
So they almost killed him once, so.
Have you seen those Black Sabbath shirts that just have a picture of Bill Ward? It has the old Black Sabbath logo and just Bill Ward.
I have a funny story about that, Will, and
Okay.
I'll share that picture with you on Facebook.
Okay.
My ex-girlfriend got front center row to see the 13 tour. I wore that shirt, and there's several shots where I photobombed Black Sabbath wearing that shirt. And there was a part where Ozzy saw it, and he started actually laughing. He didn't get offended.
That's
But,
cool.
yeah, I
That's
wore
cool.
it says Bill Sabbath, like the Master Reality font,
Right.
Yeah. But
Do you like stuff beyond Born Again? Like
I love every Sabbath album except for 13. 13 was a big letdown, and it's not because Bill Ward wasn't there. I just found it. See, the thing I love about Sabbath is that they never really repeated themselves. They always had these crazy changes on each album. Where
Sure.
that album, they did a song like Planet Caravan, they did a song like NIB, they did a song like Black Sabbath. They didn't use that same drummer that we saw live. They got the guy, and it was very pedestrian. It just didn't work for me, But everything else, I love the Tony Martin era. I mean, for me, it's the '70s Sabbath. That's my favorite. But people think, well, you bashing Dio? No, man, I love see the difference for me with Black Sabbath in the '70s. They were more organic, and then with Dio, they became perfection.
Totally.
It was just totally perfect. And Born Again was just a mind blowing album for me. I mean, that album's so dark and like no compromise.
I love it too. Even the production sounds evil.
Yeah. And a lot of people have a problem with the production. I'm thinking that production is perfect for these dark songs.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people hated the album cover. I love that album cover.
I think it's one of the best rock album covers of all time, man. I love it.
Thank you. That's
so you like Forbidden?
Okay. All right. Let me explain something about Forbidden. There are a few songs I liked on it, but yeah, before 13, that was the worst Sabbath album.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, I'll give you that. That wasn't, but at least I liked a couple songs. I mean, I didn't like nothing off of 13. It just, and I was willing to accept it without Bill, but I was just like, oh man, this is really breaking my heart. How they're going out like this.
I was confused by their choice of drummers. They got the guy from Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
What he has to do with Black Sabbath is beyond me. But it's not like the drums are bad on the album. But yeah, like you said, it's kind of pedestrian, and they should have picked someone who's a little bit more metal. I think
Well, the drummer they had on tour, I can't remember his last name now. Tommy something. I think.
Yeah.
Should have got him.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. It would have been better.
What are your drum influences? I mean, yeah, what was the uh, who do you consider like the greatest drummers?
Uh, I mean, I know this name is thrown around all the time, and it's so cliche to say, but John Bonham, man, like
Of course.
he's the shit. I love John Bonham, Eric Carr. I love
Mm.
Bobby Blotzer.
Oh
Um,
wow, Bobby Bloxer from Rat.
yeah, dude, he was my hero when I was like a junior or in fifth grade, sixth grade, like fourth, fifth, sixth grade. He was my fucking hero, man. I thought he was a modern day John Bonham. He had a heavy foot
Uh,
and just a great groove. Um, who else? I also loved Tommy Lee to a point.
mhm.
I thought he was great. I love Stuart Copeland.
Yeah, Stuart
Um,
Copeland's amazing.
I like Dennis Davis. He was a drummer for David Bowie on
Mm.
all his weird albums in the '70s, like Heroes and Low, and all those albums. I really think he's a good drummer. And then later on, I got really into Mike Smith, the drummer for Suffocation.
Oh
Uh,
yes.
he's fucking badass. And Dave Culross, who was in Suffocation and Malevolent Creation, he's one of my favorites. So I kind of go all over the place. But yeah, early on it was Bonham, Blotzer, and Eric Carr, and Alex Van Halen. Alex Van Halen is so
Yeah.
underrated.
Oh yeah, because of his brother, he gets overlooked.
Yeah, he's
Um,
overshadowed big time.
Speaking of malevolent creation, you know the album Retribution, right?
Oh yeah, it's my favorite one.
What do you think of that drummer, Alex Marquez?
He's fucking badass, man.
That
He's great on that Demolition
Solstice?
Hammer album too.
Yeah, yeah. Time. No, not Time Bomb.
Yeah, Time Bomb, man. And that album I'm not really into. I love the first two albums way more, but the
Yeah.
drumming is fantastic on that album. Yeah, he's
Well,
killer.
check it out, man. That was my drummer on my second album,
For
Alex
Thrasher,
Marquez.
for Thrasher Die.
He played on Melting Your Skull. That's him.
Oh shit! I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to check that out.
Check it out, man. Check out the drum work he does on Garantula and stuff like that. I mean, he's a beast. He is a beast. Yeah, I was so honored to get. He moved to Phoenix now,
Okay.
and he's a big fan of Death Angel. So wait till he hears this. He's going to be honored. Uh,
Did he play live with you guys, or he just
yes,
record?
many many
Oh,
times. We've
wow.
toured with him. We've toured, and yeah, we played basically that whole album with him. We've done tours, and have you heard Solstice, his other band with
Oh hell yeah,
yeah,
hell
that's
yeah.
that's some awesome shit too. They got a new album coming out too.
Totally. Solstice opened up for Death Angel maybe like 6, 7 years ago in Florida. We were doing a headlining tour, and there was like seven local openers.
And we
And
were we were one of them, Will. It
okay,
was
okay, all right.
we went on before Solstice, so he did double duty that night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I missed both your guys' sets. I forget where I was. I had to go somewhere else. Like maybe I was getting a tattoo or something. I had to leave for a couple of hours, and I came back. I wasn't aware of your band at the time, but I really wanted to see Solstice, and I got there like just like 10 minutes too late. And I met Alex that day, and and I told him I was a fan of his drumming, and
Oh, cool.
after their set, he was like, "Did you see us? Did you see us?" I was like, "Ah, man, I fucking missed you. I felt like a dick."
Damn. And that was I don't know if that was the first or second time. We opened for you guys again when you did the Ultra Violence tour. And
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah, you played a place called Churchill's in Miami. It was a little club, and
I remember.
God, that was so good, though. You guys were so good. It was so cool to hear, all these songs that I never got to see, be played before.
Yeah, like Thrashers and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And well, Evil Priest was the only. I'll tell you this, man. When I saw you guys open for Testament and Anthrax,
Uh huh.
this was at Fort Lauderdale. I thought you guys were the best band of the night, but I was like, oh man, it was cool they played Evil Priest and all, but man, this was a pain, man. I wanted to hear that, but still, you guys were on fire, and I mean, I'm a huge fan. I have everything you guys have released, and I've said I've had videos saying that man, since they've reunited, they've been on such a roll. Retribution is such a great out, and the last one is just phenomenal, you know. And but one thing I've wondered, and this is even before I met you, on these Death Angel albums that you've done, were there ever like songs that didn't make the album but you recorded? Like, are there any bonus songs that never made the albums?
No, not at all. We do cover tunes, but those have all seen the light of day, like on Japanese releases or
Like
something.
Heaven and Hell, I remember.
Yeah, and we did that Gothic song on Evil Divide, Sisters of Mercy song, I think.
Yeah, yes.
Uh, but yeah, no. As far as originals, there's no extra stuff floating around out there at all. What
All
you
right,
hear
cool.
is what we wrote. Yeah.
Is there anything in the works now, or are you guys just laying low for now?
No, I mean, for a hot minute we were laying low just because they were letting me, recover, and everyone's cages were a little rattled from this whole pandemic. But Rob, last week, Rob sent me the first song for a whole collection of new songs he's going to be sending me. But yeah, he sent me the first song a couple, like maybe 5 days ago. It's really fast. It's faster. I think it's faster than anything on the last four albums. So
Wow.
it's definitely not getting lazy. It's killer. It's short and quick, and it's a good blueprint for a song.
Right on. So you guys are already working on the next one, I guess, with the downtime and
Yeah.
all.
What else? What else can we do? I mean, it sucks because we only did two tours for Humanicide. We did the Bass Strikes Back tour of Europe, and we did a headlining U.S. run. I didn't even go to Florida, I don't think.
Yeah, you played
Um,
Orlando, and at the time I couldn't get out of work, but you guys did play Orlando.
okay. But yeah, we only did two tours. So usually we do like five tours, at least five tours for an album. So it kind of sucks that we couldn't do any more touring for this album. I mean, maybe we will, depending on when the gates open back up. But yeah, I mean, not that Humanicide didn't get a lot of publicity with the Grammy thing and all, but
Yeah,
it
that was
would
awesome.
it'd be nice to tour a few more times for that album before releasing another album.
Yeah, you think
But
you think you think if they do like 2021, how some people are hoping, you think you guys will do a tour to support that album still?
I think so. I think Rob is pretty hell bent on giving that album a little bit more promotion, a little more time to breathe.
Yeah, I just want to tell you, I got like the deluxe one with the shirt and the CD and the vinyl. I got the whatever that what do they call that? The package deal, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, man. I mean, I've been following, definitely even from the early days, but I feel, man, and there's no slam to, I love Act Three.
Uh,
Frolic was so, but man, I like the newer ones more. I just think, and that's the problem with a lot of people. Like, yeah, I remember Death Angel, Bored. It's like, dude, you don't know what you're missing, man. With the,
Thanks, man. I think the last four albums are very consistent, and yeah, just definitely sounds like a band that's been touring a lot and playing together a lot. And when this version of Death Angel got together, we've done more touring than the original version ever did. Even just for Relentless Retribution, we toured for like almost 3 years straight for that album, and that was collectively more touring than Death Angel had done in their entire existence with the original lineup. So by the time we were getting to the third and fourth album with this lineup, we were just so locked in. So it feels good to go into the studio with those guys because it's just very comfortable environment. And I agree with you on Frolic Through the Park. I can't get into that album. I mean, there's definitely some killer songs. Like I like Guilty of Innocence, but
yeah,
overall that album is just up and down, and it's very inconsistent.
yeah, yeah. Third Floor is an awesome one off that too.
Oh, totally.
When you guys played Churchill's, I did meet you brief. Well, I met you at Grand Central, that one after the show, but I met you briefly. They let me on the tour bus, and I interviewed Mark in the back, and
Okay.
that was awesome. And we filmed it, and it ended up on Blabbermouth and stuff. And I handed him each CD. And he said the same thing about Frolic, and I was like, oh wow, I'm not the only one that thinks this.
Oh yeah, he. I mean, I like some of it, but he flat out hates that album.
Wow. But and the funny thing about that album, out of all the songs that the classic stuff, we have a song on the first Thrasher Die album called "Wake Up, Smell of Thrash," where all the lyrics are little. We either talk about album titles or song. There's a line in there that says, "I'll throw you from the third floor. It's what I'm going to do." And I gave it to Mark, and he was very impressed. And then when we played, Grand Central was the second show because he goes, Thrasher Die, yeah, man. I remember the third floor, this and that. So he did remember that. So
That's cool.
I had to give a little nod, because I mentioned I even mentioned like rigor mortis,
Oh yeah.
and whiplash, and all this, more obscure. But I had to throw Death Angel in there. I've been following you, but I mean, I want to talk about some other bands and get some because I'm pretty sure I watched it. Oddly enough, I bought Thrashumentary when it first came out.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched it. But I watched it last week, which is odd because I became friendly with you this week. And there was a scene where you go to a record store somewhere in Europe somewhere. And I'm not sure. I kind of remember. Did you find something of Merciful Fate there?
It must have been a bootleg. I've bought some pretty awesome bootlegs in Europe of Merciful Fate.
Yeah, because Merciful
really
Fate,
awesome one.
Merciful Fate is up there with Black Sabbath with me. I mean, I am a huge Merciful Fate fan. I mean, do you worship that band like I did, like that '80s input with Kim Ruz?
Oh yeah, dude. I used to have a Merciful Fate tribute band called Hail Satan.
No way.
Yeah, the lead singer, the guy that did King Diamond, his name is Jonathan Fenno, and he's one of the biggest Kiss fans I've ever met. And he has a Kiss tribute band now called Destroyer, and he's Paul Stanley. But this is like 20 years ago. We had Hail Satan, and we used to open up with Burning the Cross, and
oh shit, hell yeah,
yeah. We would do everything. I mean, everything from the first two albums in the EP and some of the demo stuff. But I mean, I love Merciful Fate. I love In the Shadows. I think that was
Time was good too.
Yeah. I mean, they're all good.
Yeah.
But when In the Shadows came out, I was speechless. How fucking amazing it was, because I was skeptical. I was like, I don't know. You never know when a band's been broken up for 10, 15 years, But it was such a strong comeback. But I will say, as much as I love Merciful Fate, I do prefer King Diamond.
Really? I love, don't get me wrong, I love the King Diamond stuff. I'm more of a Fate guy, but that's probably has to do with timeline too. I mean,
Sure.
Who did you get into first, King or Merciful Fate?
I heard Merciful Fate first, and I didn't know what to think of it, dude. When I heard King Diamond's voice, I was like, what the fuck is this? And it was so overtly satanic. I was just overwhelmed by it. It's weird. I didn't think I liked it, but I kept on listening to it. But it was a hard sell. But when I fucking heard, when I saw the Family Ghost video, I was like, oh my God, Mickey D, another big drum influence for me. Dude, when I heard that song and saw the video, I rushed out and bought Abigail the next day, and that was it. That was it for me.
Awesome. Yeah. I do love all the, I'm a huge fan, I mean, I own everything. I even, and we'll talk later, man. I'd love to send you, I released an EP vinyl, Merciful Fate tribute. It's called Lucifer Cremataf, which is Merciful Fate backwards.
Uh-huh.
And you talking about Burning the Cross, I did a cover of Leave My Soul Alone.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, because it's so obscure and it's on Return of the Vampire, but also did Nuns Have No Fun, Doomed by the Living Dead. And the second side is my friend Holy George, and he has like one of the greatest death metal vocals you'll ever hear. And what does he do? He does Devil's Eyes. He does Into the Coven.
Cool.
I can't remember the other one, but I'd love to send you a copy of it.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to hear it.
I think you're totally dig it. So it's good to know that you're a big Merciful Fate fan. Now, Will, I am, I'm going to edit this show where we talk about Kiss stuff and put it on the Kiss channel. Because you know how those Kiss fans are.
I know they don't want to hear about Merciful Fate.
No. All this will be cut out. This is everything we've been talking about will be actually on my podcast. And I'll even announce it on the video saying, if you want to hear this whole uncut interview.
Okay.
So are you more of a 80s Kiss guy or 70s?
Well, I mean, Lick It Up is my favorite Kiss album, but overall, like the whole body of work, I say I prefer the '70s over the '80s, but I think Creatures of the Night, Lick It Up, Animalize, and to a lesser extent, Asylum are uh, those are just amazing albums, and they were fucking on fire. I love that era of Kiss so much. So that's my favorite era of Kiss. But they eventually started putting out some of the worst music after
After
that
that. Yeah, yeah.
in the '80s, and they didn't put anything bad out in the '70s. I like all the '70s albums. I
Yeah.
love Dynasty. That album rules. I think
I don't think there's a bad song off Dynasty.
totally.
And I think it gets a bad rap. I really do. And that was, like timelines, everything. My very first Kiss album was double platinum.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah,
my first Kiss album that was new was Dynasty, and so he's been very special. Magic Touch, Dirty Living. I love that whole freaking album. It's
totally.
such a great album. And as far as the 4 solo albums, which one's your favorite?
It used well. I mean, obviously, Aces is the best, but
Right.
it's not my favorite anymore. Uh, Surprisingly, Gene Simmons is my favorite.
No way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But now this I want to talk about because that is such a weird album, man. I mean, that album's all over the place. I mean, what's the appeal of?
Well, I'll tell you why I didn't like it initially. Like, because he's the demon. I
Uh-huh.
was expecting a really heavy album. I go, yeah, and
Especially with that intro, right? It sounds like it's gonna be badass.
totally. So it definitely is not what you expect, and I didn't like it for years. I used to rank the albums. Growing up, I ranked them Ace, Paul, Gene, Peter, and then I don't know, like maybe like 10 years ago, I just snapped one day. Like I listened to it and was like, holy shit, these songs are making me like they're making me emotional. Like they're really good ballads, and I love his voice. It's so heartfelt and it's very inspired. And it's definitely hit or miss. I mean, there's better moments than others, but uh, I just love it, man. I think it's the most creative of the 4, and the most daring. Like he really took a lot of chances, and he doesn't always bat 1,000 with each song, but I definitely respect him and appreciate the fact that he made a true solo album. Like it sounds nothing like Kiss, except for not Radioactive or Living in Sin's kind of a Kiss song, and the Kiss song he covers, but all the other songs on the album are just really so unique, and it's his voice. I just love his voice. In every era of Kiss, I think he's my favorite voice.
Well, is he your favorite member?
He's not my favorite member. Ace is my favorite member, but I
Okay,
think he
cool.
has the best voice. But like I said, I mean, I know Ace's is the best one. For sure, it's the best one. But I listen to Gene's a lot more nowadays. And I used to love Paul's. I still like it, but I don't love it as much as I used to for some reason. I'm not quite sure why everything shifted around. But how about you? What are your thoughts on the 4?
Well, pretty. Gene would be my least favorite. I actually like Peter's even more, but like you didn't really get the Gene album at first,
Hell no.
and I didn't believe me. I didn't get the Peter album. I was like, what the hell is this? But I mean, I've gotten old and soft, man, in some things, and I like the "Kiss the Girl Goodbye" and "Easy Thing." I don't like the single. Like there's songs on there I really don't like, but I like some of the ballady stuff on there. "I Can't Stop the Rain" and stuff like that.
Oh, I
Uh,
hate that song,
and
dude.
what's funny? Well, everybody that hates the Peter Criss album, they point to that one as the best song on it.
Oh God, man, that song is excruciating, man.
I love it. I love it. I
Kiss
have
the
no
girl,
shame.
kiss the girls goodbye is a pretty cool tune. It's nice,
Yeah,
but
it's a good R&B tune.
well, what do you think about the Paul Stanley one?
Now, Paul Stanley, I get a lot of shit for because I only like 2 songs off it. Now, hear me out. Like, there's songs on there that, man, they're good, but there seems to be missing something. This is my opinion. Like, ain't quite right. To me, it ain't quite right. I mean, it could have been better. There's elements I really like on that. There's elements I like on Love and Chains, but there's only two songs I like really on the album. That's the first song, Tonight You Belong to Me, and I love It's All Right. The rest of it, I don't hate it, because look, I like more songs on the Peter Criss album, but just the strength of those two Paul Stanley songs, I put it over the Peter Criss album.
Huh.
So, to me, Ace, Paul, Peter, and Gene. Now, if you look at my initial reviews, and I know you sat through them,
Yeah.
back then, Peter was at the bottom, then Gene, then Paul, then Ace. But I've since changed. I mean, I guess with age, there's certain things that happen in life that my taste just changes. It's I can say that about a lot of things. Like if you watch my review on Asylum, I hated Secretly Cruel. Now that's my favorite song off that album.
I
I don't
dig
know.
that tune. I dig that tune.
I used to hate it, and now it's like, God, that's my favorite song on there.
If I
And
remember correctly, aren't you sleeping on your review for the Peter Criss solo album?
probably, yeah, I probably am. I don't look back at my reviews. I just record them. But yeah, I know I did. And here's the funny thing, Will. That's actual video of me sleeping. I
Yeah,
had a
yeah. Oh,
yeah,
really? Like the
that's yeah,
snoring is not super not
not
overdubbed.
fake at all. I have what do they call that? Night vision on my camera with
Uh
a big 8-hour battery. And I just turned the night vision on, went to sleep. And how I would do it, I put it in my Vegas program. My Vegas program, you can see the audio files. So I
okay.
so I don't have to sit through 8 hours. I just go where I see noises and I cut those pieces where I'm snoring. And that's actually legit. I'm actually am sleeping during those clips of the Peter Criss solo album, and I think
I
there's a
think
lot
on
of hot
crazy
shade.
nights,
Yeah.
on those albums, you're sleeping too. I listened to Double Platinum a couple weeks ago for the first time in ages,
Mhm.
and I actually thought of you because I remember you saying in your review that you prefer the versions of all the songs on Double
Yes.
Platinum over the originals. I thought that
Mm.
was kind of weird. So yeah, when I listened to it, I was thinking of you, and I gotta say, I disagree. Like I don't like the remixes and how they morph the songs, and like how Black Diamond has a different intro or outro. And I'm so used to the actual album versions. Like I can't get into the Double Platinum versions except for Strutter. Strutter's better on Double
Yeah, I
Platinum.
love it. I love it. And I love Hard Luck Woman more on there. The thing I didn't like about Double Platinum was the rock bottom she thing. I hated
Yeah,
that. That I did hate. But Timeline, I heard the Double Platinum before I heard any of those original
right,
studio because it's my very first Kiss album.
right.
So I think it's Timeline. It's like when I went back and heard Black Diamond on the first album, I was like, God damn, when is this shit gonna end, man? With I was like, I just didn't dig it. So I think it has a lot to do. I heard that first, and when you're a kid and you don't have many records, you play it over and over and
Yeah,
over again. That it's just stuck in my brain. That when I finally went back to hear what they sound like on the original albums, I was like, eh. But I will say this: I still, even though I'll put the live versions, and I heard a live after Double Platinum, the live versions I like more than the Double Platinum mixes.
oh yeah, come on, that's a no brainer. The live versions are so more energetic and just yeah, they're like injected with fury. They sound great. I agree.
It's a
They're better than Double Platinum and they're better than the original versions.
Oh
I
yeah,
love them.
I totally agree. But I will say one song. I will put one song, and this will sound weird. The one song I like studio version over the live version is the most popular song, "Rock and Roll All Night." And it doesn't have a solo. There's just something about that studio
Huh.
version. I don't know why. I know I'm alone on that. I get it, Will.
I never really thought about it. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I think I still stick with the Kiss Alive version.
Yeah, I just like that tambourine and stuff going on. It's just I really love
Yeah.
really, really love Dress to Kill. That's the one I listen to the most. Dress to Kill and Dynasty, really. Those are the two albums I really put on the most. I never get sick of those albums, man. But I never get sick. But my favorite of the studio albums is Rock and Roll Over. I mean that.
Me too. For from the first 6 albums, Rock and Roll Over is by far the best, I think. Yeah.
And it's that band. I mean, before I heard, it was my friend played me "I Want You," and that made me run out and buy. I wanted to buy really Rock and Roll Over. I couldn't find it. Double Platinum had "I Want You." All right, I'll buy this. That's how I ended up with that. But before that, I wasn't really too much into stuff. I wasn't really into movies. But that Double Platinum album made me investigate Blue Oyster Cult and
Yeah.
all the Hearts, Ted Nugent, Aerosmith, all that 70s hard rock back then, because I was a 70s kid, the tail end of the 70s, getting into all this shit. That to me, Kiss was the ultimate gateway band for me.
Yeah. For a lot of people, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm amazed by how many metal musicians say that Kiss Alive 2 or some Kiss 70s Kiss album was their first exposure to harder music. It's a lot of people got
Yeah.
exposed to Kiss. It's cool.
Death Angel. I mean, they covered Cold Gin on the second album.
Yeah, and Rob, Mark, and Dennis, their first concert was the Dynasty tour at the Cow Palace,
Wow.
and they
That's
all
awesome.
dressed up. They all dressed up in makeup and stuff. Going back to Double Platinum real quick, do you have the Platinum album insert that came with
Yes.
the? Yeah, me too. And it's from back in the day. And like an idiot, I wrote my name on it, Willie Carroll. Because it has a little thing with you right there.
You know what I would do, Will? I would write my name inside the inner sleeve, like deep down there. I'd put Ralph Viera, like, I'd
Uh-huh.
open it where the album goes. I'd just write it down there real low in case it gets stolen one day.
Yeah,
I could say, this is mine. See, my name's in there. But no,
totally.
I didn't write on the actual record. Yeah, the little paper record thing, the platinum
Yeah,
album.
it has a line right there for your name, and I was like so excited, man. It
Oh,
just,
you mean under it? Under it.
yeah, yeah. On
Okay.
that platinum album insert, there's a little box at the
Oh,
bottom, and
yes, you're right. Yeah.
it has a couple of lines like for your name and I think even your address or I don't know, but like yeah, I wrote my name on it. I also I remember like in 2 days I ruined either me or my brother ruined the Kiss Love Gun. We were playing with it so much, and it just finally ripped after a day or two.
Do you still have all those records when you bought when you were a kid, the Kiss albums?
Yeah. My either my brother or me. My brother's like 6 or 7 years older than me, so I was listening to his albums when I was like 5 and 6. So I didn't buy my own copies until he moved out or I moved out. So until I was like 18 years old. So I have those still, and he has the old ones from when I was growing up. So we both have the full collection.
What do you think of Kiss now with these people in Ace and Peter makeup?
It's hard to get excited about. I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
But I thought Monster was a pretty fucking rocking album.
Oh, thank you. We're rare, man. I get a lot of shit from that because they're like, "Oh, you hate Scab Kiss, but you like Monsters." Like, dude, I can't help it. It's a kick-ass album.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised because Sonic Boom. I didn't think Sonic Boom sucked, but I wasn't really into it that much. It was okay, but yeah, like just the production on Monster and just the energy and everything sounds great. Paul's voice is still, intact. It sounded killer. I loved it.
Yeah. I couldn't get into Sonic Boom because Tommy was just trying so hard to do Ace solos, and on Monster he doesn't do those Ace solos. He plays them, like a different style. And the songs really is what Hallelujah, Wallace Sound, Back in the Stone Age, Long Way Down. I mean, there's some great classics, but there's a lot of people that just can't get past the makeup. And I tell people, hey man, I don't hear makeup when I hear the album.
Yeah, yeah.
I listen with my ears, not my eyes. So, there's a lot of people that just won't give it a chance. And, I mean, I'll be honest, the first time I heard Monster, I was like, damn it, I like it. I wasn't really looking forward to liking it. Like, God damn it, now I got to go buy this. This is actually kick ass. But,
It always puzzled me why they used the Monster Energy drink font.
right.
That's the only thing that bothers me about the album. When I look at the cover, I'm like, geez, man, why did they do that?
Yeah, and I don't like that cover. Some fan out there made a cover where it had the old school Universal monsters. It had Bela Lugosi and Lon Chaney and Frankenstein, all that, and I was like, that's a cooler cover, if they would have used that, But yeah, it's so generic looking with the band in the front, and yeah, the cover sucks.
Speaking of Tommy Thayer, were you ever into Black and Blue?
I love that first album. I liked the Auto Blast off it, Chains Around Heaven. I owned it when it first came out. I really dug it. After that, the albums after that, I liked a few songs off those albums, but I really liked the first Black and Blue album.
I didn't discover the first Black and Blue album until way later. I got into Black and Blue because Gene Simmons produced Nasty Nasty.
Yes, he did.
So I think I had seen the video for Miss Mystery off of their second album, and I didn't really like it.
Right.
But I got Nasty Nasty, and I gotta say, I listened to that album recently, and it holds up, man. That's a fucking rocking album. And I have the first one now, too, and I do enjoy that one as well. The second album is kind of weird, but yeah, I do like the first one, but I love Nasty Nasty. It's the first song on the title track, Nasty Nasty. They steal a Kiss riff. They do
from Unholy, right?
No, not Unholy. It's the riff from Only You off the Elder.
But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. But the middle of Unholy, it does that too.
Oh, you're right. It does.
Yeah. They kind of borrowed on both. Yeah, Only You and Unholy has that riff. But you see, Nasty Nasty is the only one I don't own, and I don't think I've ever heard that whole album. So I'll look into it. I'll check that album out.
It's pretty good. I mean, the follow up is I didn't like Boys in Heat or whatever.
Yeah, In Heat, just called that one I have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You should get Nasty Nasty. It's definitely heavier than In Heat.
All right, I'll definitely check that out. Yeah, and that's the connection right there. That's how Tommy got in the band. I think he was the road manager at one point.
Yeah.
And then started wearing the makeup, man. And I was very offended. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, damn it, what the hell are they doing? But at the same time, I understand if they're gonna take off the makeup, it's probably as what did you think of Revenge?
Oh, I'm totally with you, dude. When I watched your review of that, I was like, yes. I mean, I think you're the first person I've ever heard publicly say that album is really not as good as everyone blows it up to be. It's not bad, but I don't listen to it that often. Even when it came out, I wasn't listening to it over and over again. I think it's overrated. I'm totally with you, man. I'm totally
good. I mean, I because a lot of people like after Crazy Nights Hot in the Shade, shit, anything will be better. Yeah, I didn't think the playing was too bad, but I think the songs just missed the mark.
Some of them do for sure, man. I don't like Domino.
No, I don't like it either.
It's okay, but I mean, yeah, the album's underwhelming to me.
Yeah, I liked Unholy, and I ran out and bought it because of that song, and then the rest was like, damn,
Yeah.
The playing's good, Bruce playing good, but what matters is the song, right? In the end of the day. And I just don't think those songs. And when people hear me say I like Monster more, oh boy, they lose their mind. Because I say
I like it. I like Monster more too.
Yeah, man.
Who's your least favorite Kiss guitarist?
Oh, that's a great question. Because Tommy Thayer. But let me explain. It's like Tommy Thayer has only done 2 albums.
Right.
I liked what Mark St. John did on one album, Under the Gun. I love that, Into the Fire is one of my favorite Kiss songs too. What opens that album. I think he shreds. I think it kicks ass. I like Bruce. I mean, I know Bruce's childhood girlfriend. She's married to one of my best friends. So I've hung out with Bruce a lot, and he's a super nice guy, and he's not a bad guitar player. So it's hard for me to back the guy, but I'd put it in order. My favorite is Ace, then Vinny, then Mark, then Bruce, then Tommy.
Okay, I'm almost the same except for Bruce is my least favorite. It's funny because whenever I tell Kiss fans that, and people who actually know Kiss or whatever, they're like, "Dude, he's such a nice guy." And you know what? I believe that 100%. He plays like he's such a nice guy.
Yeah, good. Oh, and I'll say it right now, man. Horrible stage presence.
Yeah, dude, like just so vanilla and so timid. I mean,
Insane.
I don't want to rip on the guy because I don't dislike his playing, and I think he was the most stable guitar player Kiss ever had. Not obviously Tommy Thayer too, but he did what was necessary, and he followed orders,
Yeah,
that's what they were looking for. But yeah, he just it's too safe. He's too safe for me.
yeah. It's like pedestrian. It's kind of like his solos. Like somebody, the other day, somebody was arguing with me about, oh man, because I said, man, Ace does the most memorable solo. He goes, well, what about Tears of Falling? I'm like, shit, I have to think about how that solo is.
Yeah.
I had to think about it. Then I remembered it, but dude, that's not memorable if you have to think about it. You know.
Uh
But
huh.
yeah, he did the job, and I thought he played great on Revenge. It's just the songs, like I said, it's just not there. I liked what he did on Tough Love and some of those songs, but just the guitar playing don't make the cut for me.
Yeah. What do you think of Carnival of Souls?
I and I was proven wrong by saying this, but I said I do like a lot of that album. I like a lot of the songs on the album, but it sounded unfinished. And even in my review, I said, the reunion was coming down, so I don't think Gene and Paul were into it. That's why it suffered.
Uh
But last year, I did this Rock and Pod Expo in Nashville, and I interviewed Toby. I forgot his name, the guy that produced the album, Toby Wright or something like that. And
I think that's his name.
I brought that up to him. I said, "Hey, Gene and Paul weren't." And he goes, "They were into it 100%." I was like, "Really?" Because to me, it doesn't sound like a finished album to me. A lot of these songs, there's songs I love off it, like "Masters and Slave." I like,
Yeah, that's a good
and
song.
the very grungy one, "Never Goes Away." I love Paul's voice on that. And but then there's some like "In the Mirror." It's like it sounds like it could have been better. It sounds incomplete to me. But honestly, I like it more than Revenge.
Whoa. Okay. I don't think I've heard that entire album from beginning to end. I don't own a copy, so I should check that out. I mean, actually, I did hear it from beginning to end when it finally got released. I did hear it once from beginning to end. I remember thinking the drums are very underproduced. Like I know they were going for a minimalistic sound and a stripped down type of sound, but the drums, I mean, they need a little bit of life injected into them. I mean, this not the playing. The playing's good, but just the drum tones. I just remember thinking it sounded like a demo, kind of.
Right. Yeah. I just feel like I don't know, man. I mean, Toby proved me wrong, but to me, listening to that, to me, it sounds like we got this reunion. Let's just like do whatever, and they just left it all to Bruce.
Uh huh.
That's how I felt about it. I felt like it's more of a Bruce album than anybody else. And but when it comes to production, Will, I am like really bad at noticing stuff like that because I've heard people say, "Well, this is down in the mix." I don't know, but in a way, it's. I mean, you're a musician. I'm not I'm a headbanger, man. I just write lyrics. I'm not really a musician, but you are a legitimate musician. So of course you're gonna know the in and outs of production value and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just to me, I mean, there's two albums I can tell you. Okay, the production, even though I love both albums, but the production I can tell. Of course, having Hotter Than Hell.
Uh huh.
You can tell. I mean, that shit sounds like it's recorded in a tunnel, but I think
Yeah.
it benefits the album because dark songs. And
Yeah.
Blizzard of Oz. To me, Ozzy. When you listen to Blizzard of Oz and you listen to Diary of a Madman, it's like such a big difference production. It sounds kind of muddy to me. But I
Yeah.
can't tell with other albums. I just can't tell. You know.
It's funny you say. I agree with you with Hotter Than Hell. I thought you were going to say Hotter Than Hell and Born Again because those two
Oh
albums,
yeah, Born Again. Yeah.
yeah, production wise, those two albums are identical, man.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, they both were recorded under the same tunnel.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And so yeah, so as far as Kiss goes, your guy is Eric Carr as far as the drummers.
Yeah, yeah, man. Like his drum solo on Animalize live uncensored the
Yeah,
VHS, dude. That solo, even to this day, like, and I mean, drumming's really progressed since then, like double bass drumming, and everything's getting more extreme all the time. But even to this day, that drum solo is top notch, man. And It's definitely athletic, and his double bass work was killer. He was really versatile with the double bass, and he had speed, and he did cool patterns. Like sometimes he wouldn't always just plow through and go digga, 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 all the way through. Like he would break it up, and like the double bass on King of the Mountain, like the drumming on that song is difficult, man. It's fucking difficult.
Do you know the story of the drumming, the intro to King of the Mountain? You know that story?
No, but I've always wondered, what's the deal with the beginning of that album? It's just a very odd beginning, you know.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be. He was just like warming up,
Okay.
and they kept it in. But yeah, that whole beginning when Eric, I mean, they were. I guess they probably knew he was recording it, but he was just fucking around on the drums. It wasn't supposed to be part of the song, and whoever produced it was like, "Hey, let's put that on there," and then go into King of the Mountain.
Yeah, so he
So
was he was probably listening to the opening click, and waiting, and then he finally counts off. And I always thought it was funny that he does a little drum solo and then he counts off the song. It's just like,
yeah,
yeah, it's odd. I like
yeah,
it though. I like
yeah.
it.
Oh, I love it. I think that album is pretty underrated because of the way they looked. That was them at their goofiest looking.
Dude,
And
that tour, like it was, even though it was my first concert, I still knew in the back of my mind, like, God, they look so lame. Like I was like, this is
those glowing gloves and Gene looking like Maud. You know,
yeah, totally.
it was a very odd look, but music wise, I think that album's got some really cool quality, heavy tracks. And
Totally.
it doesn't really get the justice it deserves by a lot of people because like Monster, they judge it by the look. you
Yeah.
know, and it's unfortunate. But Kiss is a visual band, and a lot of fans of Kiss are totally, more into the visual stuff. And I mean, to me, man, and because a lot of people say, well, Kiss would never be big if they didn't have the makeup and the bombs and all that. But I was like, I don't think so, man. I think if they had shitty songs, the bombs and the makeup wouldn't have helped. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna I was gonna name a band that has a lot of theatrics and never made it because their music sucks, but I'm not gonna say who it
Oh, you will tell me off the air.
is. Yeah.
I'm dying to hear that. I'm probably gonna like them too. I'll be, I like that one. So I like a lot of strange stuff. I did venture to when you added me. You bashed the band I really love.
Who Sticks?
Yes, I love Sticks, dude.
Oh wow! I can't even fathom.
Yeah, I again timeline. When I was a little kid, after the Kiss thing, I bought Grand Illusion. I really loved it, but dude, again, it's like it's cool that you hate them. It doesn't offend me or bother me, but I just gotta let you know, hey, dude, I like that shitty band Sticks.
There were a handful of people who were like, "You're crazy. You should listen to this song and this album." And I'll admit, there's some albums I didn't even know existed, like the really early
Yeah,
stuff.
the early stuff. Yeah,
It
yeah,
seems
I
it seems
saw
like
that.
it seems like it's a little bit more like Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah,
influenced.
more proggy. They were more of
Okay.
a proggy thing in
And
the
so
early.
I'm definitely open to checking that out because I mean the album covers that were posted, I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool actually, So and the song titles were like wizardy, and I'm into that shit. So I'm open to checking it out. But like when I was like a couple nights ago, like I'm a total Star Wars nut, so I was working on a Star Wars puzzle and listening to the local San Francisco rock radio station, and Renegade came on, and I'm like, oh god,
Oh,
it's just. Oh, I can't even describe like how much I hate that song.
oh.
Like, but it's just I just didn't like it. I mean, do you like all eras of Styx? Like you even go up to Mr. Roboto
That sucks. That whole album is fucking terrible. But yeah,
yeah.
I mean, Styx to me never really made a complete killer album when except for one. I think Grand Illusion is the only one that doesn't have filler. Every other, and
Okay.
I love Piece of Eight and Equinox and Crystal Ball, but they did have fillers. Now, if I was Renegade. I love that song. But if I heard like Babe and The Best of Times, I'd be like, yeah, Styx sucks, you know. But I don't know. I guess timeline's everything, you know, back then. But I mean, you weren't around in the '70s, so I one thing I always talk about with people that were around in the '70s.
Well, I was born in '73, so but by '78, '79, is when I started listening to Kiss and AC/DC. Like I was really young. I had older siblings who got me into hard rock at a young age, so I was kind of around in the '70s. Not like how you were, but kind
Right.
of. Yeah.
Well, did you ever get picked on or beat up for liking Kiss?
Oh, dude, fuck yeah. Like in third or fourth grade, like during Lick It Up era, um, I would be wearing my Lick It Up shirt, and other kids who don't even know who Kiss are would for some reason like would be compelled to say Kiss sucks. Like maybe they heard their older maybe they heard their older brother say it or something. But I was like, you don't even know what Kiss is. Like, how can you fucking say they suck? Yeah, dude, I went through a whole childhood of Kiss sucks, man. It was frustrating.
Yeah, me too, man. I've told this story before. I was wearing an Ace Frehley shirt, and I used to go to an elementary school that had the field, and at the end of the field was a junior high school, and I got beat up by two Led Zeppelin fans, and I was telling them I love Led Zeppelin. Shut up, you Kiss fag. And they just beat the hell out of me. It's like doesn't matter if you like Led Zeppelin or not. You're it's a crime to like Kiss. Kiss was such a bad word. And even though the Dark Years, the Elder, which I love what do you think of the Elder?
Oh, I think it's a great album. And I know a lot of people say when they like that album, they say it's not really a Kiss album, but I like it. Fuck that, dude. It sounds like Kiss to me. It's just a different version of Kiss, but it still sounds like Kiss. It's metalized and it has a lot more drama to it. And yeah, I mean, I think I like every song on that album, actually.
Yeah, I love that. I'm not the biggest fan of Odyssey, but everything else on there, I absolutely love. And I discovered that like after Creatures. I found a cassette for $1, and I caught a bus to this record store, this import record store. I used to buy Venom albums, and this is when I really got into Raven and Fate and Venom and Slayer,
Sure,
all that shit. And across the street there was a little store that had The Elder on a cassette. And I had a 90-minute bus ride home, and I put it in my Walkman, and I'm listening to the Elder the first time, and I'm thinking, this album is so fucking weird. I love it. It's just like, I got it the first listen, even though it was so fucking weird. I just thought, this is really cool, man. It's different.
totally.
But it's, I don't know, a lot of people, that's one album that gets stigma. I think even more than Dynasty. That one, a lot of people. But then there's a lot of people that love The Elder,
Yeah, I mean, it seems like The Elder is the go-to album for people who aren't really into Kiss, but they know enough about Kiss and know that The Elder is their Jump the Shark album or whatever. So I know tons of people who that's their first question. Like if Kiss comes up in any way, they'll be like, "Oh, what do you think of The Elder?" I'm like, "What the fuck do you know about The Elder? You don't even listen to Kiss,
Yeah, I'm telling you, at that time, I was like, I never heard The Elder. I didn't care, but I heard rumblings from people. Oh my God, that's even worse than Unmasked. I was like, really? It's like, well, I'm keeping away from
possible?
that. Exactly. I'm keeping away from that, And then I finally heard it. It's weird. I loved it.
Which version do you prefer? Like the original release with the songs in that order, or the one they put out when they in the '90s, where it was the original, like the song order they wanted it to be? Like, you know what I'm talking about? Do you have?
Yeah. It starts with Fanfare to Just a Boy. I like that version more.
Me too. I mean,
I think it blended better.
I can see why the record label was like I've read that after they played the album to the record execs for the first time, that there was like complete silence in the room.
Yeah, that's true.
And I can see that if they kept it, the song sequence the way they wanted it, with the first song as Odyssey. Like, what the fuck, But
yeah.
I mean, I think the Oath makes a lot more sense to start the album off with.
It's a better opener. It's a very metallic, maidenish
Totally.
And they just came off the road with Maiden, so who knows? Maybe that was they were a little, because Maiden opened a lot of those unmasked shows,
Yeah.
so maybe that was a little inspiration. Yeah, and
But
the solo on Darklight is awesome.
oh hell yeah, hell yeah.
I love Escape from the Island. That instrumental just rules.
Yeah, I mean, I know you say you're not really like like Odyssey that much, but I dig that song too. I think I'm totally into every song on that album. I'm trying to remember all the songs and
My favorite off that album is As Weird as Odyssey is Under the Rose. I love it. That's
heavy.
my favorite song off the album. That's an Eric Carr song. Eric Carr wrote that, but Eric Carr wasn't happy with the outcome. I guess his arrangement was different. But that's
Really, I didn't know that. Wow.
yeah. Eric Carr brought that's the one song that Eric. I don't know. Maybe he did have something to do with the instrumental, but yeah, Eric Carr had a lot to do with the Oath, and I remember reading that he was not happy with how it came out on the album. Like maybe it was more metallic, his version. I'm not sure, but I love Under the Rose, and yeah, it took me quite some years because forever it was the Oath. Oh, the Oath is the best song on there.
Yeah.
But, and that was the way I heard it for the first time, and I got that cassette back in 85, 84, around Animalize, I got it. And I don't know. And it's weird how I liked it because then it was like, if it ain't metal, it's crap. I went through that phase. And right in the middle of that phase, I loved The Elder. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me,
Oh, it's got some metal moments like Only You is a pretty heavy song too.
Yeah. Doro
Have you heard
Pesh cover.
Have you heard Doro Pesch's version of
Yes.
Only You?
Yes. I have that solo
It's really
CD.
cool.
Yeah,
Really
I bought
cool.
that. I bought that CD because it had Only You. I said, "Oh shit, she covers Only You. I'm gonna buy it."
Me too. I mean, covering a Kiss song is a really smart move because you'll get at least a couple of thousand idiots that will buy it just because it's a Kiss song.
Hello. I'm one of those idiots.
I am too, man. I am too.
And Kiss is one of those bands, dude. I own Crazy Nights sealed. I have to have it. It's I have the 180 grams sealed. I never listened to it, but I just need to. I'm like a completist. I need to have every fucking thing. I of course not all those greatest hits. It's like, come on, that's overkill. Why am I going to buy shit that
Totally
ready on all these other albums? But yeah, I own Crazy Nights. I own Hot and Shade. I own when they released all those 180 grams. I bought them all. I said, fuck it. I just want them. But
I have them all too, except for I don't have Carnival of Souls on vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
And for Crazy Nights, I have the picture disc. I don't have the actual cardboard or record. And what else am I missing? I'm looking at my collection right now. I think there's only two I don't have. Oh, I don't have Kiss Unplugged either.
I love that one. I really do love that album. That's another one I listened to quite a bit.
Huh.
Kiss Unplugged. But yeah, I think we covered all Kiss, huh?
Yeah. Oh, do you have Sonic Boom on vinyl?
Yes, and thanks to, God damn it, I don't remember his name, but somebody sent me it, and that's worth hundreds of bucks now.
I know, dude. I don't have that one on vinyl either, and I'm trying to complete my Kiss collection. Like I said, I don't have Carnival of Souls, but I see that all over the place online for $20-$30, no big deal. But yeah, Sonic Boom is always over $70 or something. I'm like, what the fuck,
Yeah, I've said it on videos. I said, look, I have them all, but Sonic Boom is so expensive. I'm not paying that much for that piece of crap. And some guy sent it to me, sealed. I was like, whoa. I was like, yeah, I got my complete. There is a couple songs I like off there, but it's not a complete loss. I'll take it over Hot and Shade and Crazy Nights, but that's about it.
Totally.
But yeah, I have it, and I want to thank the person, I can't remember your name, if you're listening. For sending me that, and it's a colored vinyl. I think it was orange or red, or it's just I just need. But it's not only Kiss, man. I own everything from Sabbath and Merciful Fate, and Motorhead. I have to have every single thing, these bands, because it's part of like the sickness of being a diehard music fan.
I'm absolutely the same way, man. Absolutely. And like I have a double whammy because like I said, I'm a huge Star Wars fan too. So I collect Star Wars toys as well, man. So I'm a record collector, Star Wars toy collector, and I collect comic books to a lesser extent. So I got a lot of shit in my apartment, man.
You know what I got recently, because I love Star Wars too. Um, I know that my original drummer. I mean, that guy is the biggest Star Wars. He actually thinks Star Wars is real. I'm not kidding you. He thinks that really happened. That's how big he is. Well, he turned me on. He found there's a guy on eBay that has the New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi in the original form. Like, when you put on New Hope, it doesn't say New Hope. It's just
Oh
like how it
yeah,
was released in '77. With
yeah.
none of the CGI, and the quality is amazing.
Uh-huh.
And I bought that. Yeah, I'm huge into Star Wars. Did you like what Disney did?
Man, that's a loaded question.
I do. I gotta tell you.
Well, I liked Force Awakens. I thought that was a really fun movie, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I watched it like 2 or 3 times in the theater. Um, but the last two movies, man, oh god, dude,
Really?
it's
Yeah,
it.
you're a bigger Star Wars fan than me.
Oh,
Because
why do you like all three of these
I
last movies?
I love them, and even like the prequels that are even worse, I find good things in them. Not all of it. Yeah, I didn't like Jar Jar, but
Oh,
and I know you're a big Star Wars fan. I may be offending you now, but I'm not a fan of the Ewoks. I'm sorry. I didn't never like the Ewoks, man. For some reason, they annoyed me.
because I'll tell you why. Because most people your age, like when Return of the Jedi came out, you were
Yes.
probably 17
Yeah,
or
yeah. What year was that?
it was
83.
83.
I was 18.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know a single 18-year-old metalhead that's gonna like the fucking Ewoks.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're a kid's thing. Now, I've seen, like, I've watched some Star Wars related videos on YouTube, and there's a lot of kids that love Jar Jar because they were very young when Phantom Menace came out.
I fucking hate Jar Jar
I
Binks,
can't
but
stand them.
and and little Anakin's a little is annoying, but I
Yeah.
gotta say, I don't think Phantom Menace is a complete miss. I think there's some really cool shit about that movie, and I love Darth Maul, and I like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan's rapport, and like this. I think there's a lot of good shit about that movie, and so here's my opinion about something that no one ever agrees on, dude. They're like, you gotta be joking me, but I fucking love Attack of the Clones, and I even like it more than Return of the Jedi. It's my third favorite Star Wars movie.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. And which one's that? Because I'm a little mixed up. Of the first three, which one's that one? The second or
Well, it's the one where Anakin and Padme's romance starts blooming, and there's scenes of them rolling around in the field and kissing, and that's the only low point in the movie. Like I'll agree with anybody who says that part's too much, but it's the movie with Jango Fett and you see
okay.
little Boba. Um,
That's the second one, I think.
yeah, that's the one, Attack of the
Yeah.
Clones.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite of the prequels, and I like it a little bit better than Return of the Jedi, I must say.
Wow, I am shocked. I mean, to me, it's the first three, but I like the Disney ones, man. I really did. I'll tell you the one thing I don't like Finn, and I don't like Poe. I don't like those two characters, but the rest of it, I don't mind. And I hated not the last movie, the one before it, the whole casino scene. Uh,
Dude,
I
dude,
hated
don't get me started.
that.
That movie is by far the worst thing with the Star Wars name attached to it. I mean, I was so shell shocked in the theater, like when the ending credits were going up. I was looking at the screen and like I just saw my best friend die or something. I was bewildered, and my fiance was just looking at me like she could see my reaction, and she was shocked because of my reaction. And she's like, "You didn't like it, did you?" I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I had never seen a Star Wars movie that I absolutely hated, and I absolutely hated that movie. I still do, man. There's really nothing about that movie I enjoyed. The last
You-
movie,
yeah.
the last movie, if it was cut into two parts, I thought it would have been pretty killer, but they crammed too much into 2.5 hours, man. I mean, they really glossed over a ton of shit, man. Like, I mean, they didn't really fully explain how the Emperor came back, or at least I wanted to see
Yeah,
it
you're
more.
right.
I wanted to see it in more detail. I all of a sudden, hey, the Emperor's back. There he is, right there. It would have been killer if they actually showed him in like the cloning chamber or the fucking ceremony he had to do to clone himself. All that shit, it would have been cool to see. And it's really important details too. They just glossed all over it. But I agree with you about Finn. I liked him in the first movie, in Force Awakens. I thought his story was cool, stormtrooper defecting and all that. But in the two follow-up movies, his character is absolutely useless. Absolutely useless. Like what the movie could have gone on fine without him. He didn't make or break any scene. Like, it's like, why is this character even here? Like, what's the point? So yeah, I'm with you on Finn. Poe, I don't dislike Poe, but I don't really care about him either. And that's another thing. Like by the third of the Disney movies, I realized that I just don't give a shit about any of these characters at all.
Yeah.
But like, when you're watching the original trilogy and like, Return of the Jedi, when all this shit's going down, you love these characters. I mean, I love Harrison Ford. I love Han Solo. I love all the actors, and I had like emotional investment in all of these characters. But yeah, these new characters, maybe because I'm older, but I could give a flying fuck about any of them.
Well, you were saying, you liked, what was the movie you liked more than Return of the Jedi?
Attack of the Clones.
I think I can top that and offend you even more.
Okay.
Because you're a big Star Wars fan. I know you're going to disagree with this, but I like Mark Hamill's acting more in the Disney movies. I know. Don't hang up, Will.
You like his acting? You like his acting better in the last three movies than the original three?
I don't know, man. I mean, dude, don't get me wrong. I don't hate it, but I mean, that's impossible. Stuff like that. It was like, but I'm supposed, in the first New Hope, when his uncle tells him something, he goes,
Yeah.
well, I'm supposed to go do this.
I was going to go to Tachi Station to pick up some power converters.
That's the line. That's the line right there. It's like, come on, stop whining. Where in the Disney movies, he's dark and pissed and fucking bitter. I don't know. I liked him. I was like, this is a different Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill.
I definitely liked him in those movies, but I didn't prefer it. No way.
Yeah, well, you're a bigger Star Wars fan than me. I know it's black. Oh boy, I said that to my friend. He wanted to hit me.
Do you like the Mandalorian?
Yeah, I did.
It's fucking killer, man.
I loved it. The one thing that perplexed me, and don't get me wrong, it's not that I dislike him, but I am a little miffed by why Boba Fett is so heralded. Where I don't know, prove me wrong, but what did he do really? I mean, he didn't really do much,
Yeah, I agree with you, and he died like a fool,
Yeah, he fell in that little hole, in the sand.
It was a total slapstick routine, I think it's because I think it's because of the way he looks. He was a cool looking character, man. He was covered in weaponry, and he had like a mystique to him, and I love him, and I loved him. But you're right, though, and I've thought about that too. Like, if you put all of his screen time together, he's on screen for maybe a minute, or less than a minute,
or standing next to Darth Vader,
Yeah. So you're right. He doesn't really do much at all, but he just looks so fucking cool, man.
Yeah, like I told him, my drummer that actually believes that Star Wars is real, he has a huge Boba Fett tattoo on his arm. And I'm like,
yeah. Oh, dude. I mean, most Star Wars fans I know, like Boba Fett's, like either their favorite character or definitely in their top 5. I mean, people love that character. I do too, though. I think he's cool.
No, I think he looked cool, but I was like, he didn't really do much, though. It's like,
totally.
To me, my favorite will always be Darth Vader, man. I just love Darth Vader. He's such an asshole. I just loved how he would choke people, and I just loved his demeanor and his breathing. When let's call him New Hope, but when Star Wars came out, I went to the theater several times to see it, because back in 77, it was 77, right?
Yeah.
When that came out, man, all that shit was so high tech, back then. Looking at it now, it doesn't look as high tech, but man, seeing that in 77 was mind blowing. And we would go over, like, the little chess when they're playing chess, and in the Millennium Falcon. It's just so it looks like, whoa, what the hell? This is like so cool. I've never seen anything like this. It was so high tech for the moment, you know.
Totally.
And but I mean, I'm more. I can't say I'm a casual Star Wars fan. I'm a little more than that, but to the extent that you and my original drummer, yeah, I mean, you guys, and I understand the fandom because it's a great story, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, it's good that we got to talk about Star Wars because I know I saw other things where you talk about Star Wars. Like, I know a little Star Wars. I can rib on him a little bit back and forth. But
Yeah.
I'm sure he's not gonna, But honestly, I was shocked with what you said.
Oh,
So,
everyone, dude, no one's ever agreed with me on that one.
and I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it either. I don't dislike the movie.
Yeah, yeah. I love Darth Vader too, and that was the only thing about Rogue One that kind of disappointed me, that Darth Vader wasn't in it anymore. Because dude, when he comes on the screen in that movie, it is
That
amazing, dude.
that's
It's like,
the best scene, man. The way it ends.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God, he's
dude.
fucking up everybody, man. That shit was awesome.
Yeah, yeah. That's right. He's in two scenes. He's in the end, and in the
Yeah.
middle of the movie, he talks to the guy who designed the Death Star. But both those two scenes, man, it's like, oh, I could watch the entire movie of Darth Vader just doing shit. Like, it doesn't matter what he's doing. Like, he's awesome. I agree. I loved Rogue One. That movie was
Yeah,
a home
Rogue One
run.
was awesome, and Rogue One is like if you tell the fanatical, like most fanatical Star Wars, they'd point at that one as that's the best Disney movie they did. Did you like Han Solo?
I'm kind of back and forth on that movie. I saw it in the theater and I thought it was okay. And I've watched it a few times since I got Disney Plus, and I liked it much better the second and third time I saw it. So yeah, I like it. I don't think it's great, but I like it.
Yeah, it had a lot of action in it. I only saw it in the theater once, but I didn't mind it. I don't own it. I own every Star Wars movie but that one. I even have Rogue One, so I should get Han Solo to see it again. But I didn't dislike it either. I mean, but every time, these Disney movies, I mean, all my friends were just bashing it relentlessly.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I like it. And they're like, fuck you. you know?
Though I think the only thing that really bothered me about Solo was the guy who played Solo. He was just a little too goofy. Like, he wasn't gruff enough. He didn't have enough scruff to him, or I don't know. He wasn't badass at all. I know he's young in the movie, and he hasn't become the ultimate space pirate that he becomes, but still, it's a little too jokey. Like, he's just a little too goofy. But
Right.
but he wasn't terrible. He wasn't terrible. But I mean, come on, playing Han Solo, that's a really tough role, man. I mean, really, that's people love Han Solo and love Harrison Ford.
Oh,
I'm
hell
one of
yeah.
them. I'm one of them. So you're gonna have a lot of people. You got a lot of people to please playing that role. So it's hard. It's a hard thing to pull off.
Well, for me, after Darth Vader, Han's my favorite too. I
Yeah.
loved Alec Guinness too, man. I loved him a lot. The droids you're looking for, that scene
Yeah.
where, I loved his Obi-Wan, the original Obi-Wan, his demeanor and the way I haven't heard that name in a long time. It's just, I don't know, to me, it was very gripping, looking at
Ewan
it again.
McGregor. Ewan McGregor did a great job as a young
Yeah, yeah.
Obi-Wan. Great
Did an
job.
amazing job, and I love Princess Leia too. Back in there, Yeah, I know the later stuff. Yeah, I'll admit, the Mary Poppins scene where,
When
she
she's
flies through
floating in
space.
space, dude, dude,
I was like,
that,
what the fuck?
dude, that was the breaking point when I saw that movie. And she's getting crystallized, floating out in space. Oh, and she uses the force to return the. Oh my god, dude! I wanted to walk out of the theater. If it didn't have the Star Wars name tag to it, I would have walked out. But it's a Star Wars film. I had to write it out. But god damn, man, that's just yeah. I don't even want to talk about
Yeah, yeah,
it.
no, and actually, I'll tell you the truth. I saw it in the theater, and I thought watching that scene, I'm like, they put this here to troll people,
Yeah,
This is to piss off Star Wars fans. Her
yeah.
floating through space, Mary Poppins style, What the fuck? It was so perplexing.
Totally.
Well, man, it's been great, dude. We've been at this at an hour, almost an hour and 40 minutes, man.
All
And I'm
right.
honored, dude. Like I said, I am honored that I got you on my show, and I'm honored that you like my videos and stuff. And dude, I would love to have you in the future, but next time when I have you on, I would like to do like a subject where we're not all over the place. But I wanted purposely to do something all over the place with you today.
Sure, man. Yeah, like I love Judas Priest too. I'm a total Judas
Fuck
Priest
me.
collector.
Oh yeah, man.
So if you wanted to do a show where the topic was priests, I could talk your ear off about them, man.
I'll tell you. Well, right now, just for a minute, what's your favorite Priest album?
Favorite Priest album is Sin After Sin.
Oh, cool. And it's a great album, man. Let Us Pray, man. Double
Sure.
bass, Simon
Totally.
Phillips. You know,
That's one of the very first thrash metal songs, man.
I'm gonna ask you. I mean, was that the first double bass?
As far as playing it like that, like a constant digga 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 digga, it might be, man, because I mean there were drummers doing double bass like on drum fills. Bill Ward would do double bass like he did it on at the end of Wheels of Confusion. He's doing double bass,
Oh,
but
yeah.
but it's not pummeling like it
Right.
is on Let Us Pray. So it could very possibly be the first double bass thrashy song like that.
Well, dude, I mean, I am a huge, definitely in my top five. My favorite will be Unleashed in the East.
Oh,
There's just
that's not fair. I mean,
all
of
right.
course,
Studio album, Sad Wings
Sad
would be my
Wings. Yeah,
favorite.
that's number three for me. The top three are Sin After Sin, Defenders of the Faith, and Sad
Hell
Wings.
yeah. Hell yeah. Defender of the Faith rules. A lot of people bash that on. I don't understand why.
Oh man, dude, fucking
Sentinel.
Lee Altus from Exodus and Heathen, he bashes that album kind of. And he's like, "Oh, that was the beginning of the end." They go, "What are you talking about? That was the peak. That was the
Hell
fucking
yeah, man.
peak."
Jawbreaker, Free Will Burning.
And
Forget it.
like
That rules.
I would ask him like, well, why? Like, what about the album exactly don't you like? And he's like, oh man, you could tell the drums, the way they sound, like that was the beginning of Turbo. You could hear elements of Turbo in that album. I'm like, you're out of your mind, dude. After he said that, like we were on tour together, and he said that. I went to my bunk and listened to that album just specifically to like hone in on the drums and just to see if I could hear what he's talking about. And I can't hear it. I have no idea what he's talking about, but it doesn't sound like a drum machine to me. It sounds like Dave Holland, So,
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that one, but yeah, I have heard people make fun of that album or just say like, "Oh, that's when I dropped out." And I'm like, "You're crazy."
Yeah, I've heard people say the same thing, man. And boy, I'd like to go on this subject matter, but yeah, that'll be another 2 hours.
Sure,
Yeah.
I hear you.
But yeah, when it comes to Priest, man, again, like Kiss, Motorhead, and all these bands, I own every fucking thing.
Yeah.
Even the albums I don't like, which I won't tell you till the next episode. 'Cause
Okay,
there's
okay.
a few of those albums I don't like. And then there's few that, all right, one I gotta say, just one. I don't know how you feel about this. This is one that a lot of people don't like. I love Point of Entry. What do you think of that one?
Oh well,
All right, we'll save that. We'll debate that one later, man.
Yeah, man. Like there's some killer tunes. Like the last song, "On the Run." I love
On
that
the
song.
Run, Desert Plains. I love Turning Circles. Solar
Oh,
Age.
see, Desert Plains is killer. Solar Angels is killer. Turning Circles, fuck that song.
Oh, I love that song, dude. We'll discuss that later, Will. Gonna have it out with you on that one. That song rules. But
Well,
dude,
cool,
yeah,
man.
it's been an honor, my brother. Thank you for being on for so long. It's been awesome. What a great conversation. I hope you had fun, man.
Oh, I did, dude. That was a lot of laughs. I knew it would be. I mean, you're a pretty funny fucking guy, man. That's why I enjoy watching your reviews of albums. So I knew I'd enjoy this. So I'm stoked I did it.
Thanks, dude, and definitely make sure to check out. And I gotta stress, man. And Death Angel, another band. I own everything. Frolic. I own all it.
Right
I even
on.
have what's the name? Fall from Grace. Was that the name of it? The live one.
That unofficial live album. Yeah,
I have that too.
Yeah.
I have them all. So I'm a big fan of Death Angel. I really highly, highly like suggest all that, all you know is the 80s stuff and Act 3. Check out the last 4 or 5 albums. I mean, even starting with Art of Dying, I know you weren't part of.
Right.
Devil Incarnate. I mean, there's such a lot of great classic songs on all these albums that, God, it's just you guys rule, dude. You guys
Thanks,
rule,
man.
and I was so honored that I got to open with for you guys twice. It was so cool.
Yeah,
But
dude.
again, yeah, thank you so much, my brother, and I'm glad, dude. I'm glad that we connected, and I can't wait to talk Priest with you, dude.
For sure, man. And just let me know when you're gonna air this thing,
It,
so I can
yeah,
so I can hear it, and
I
I'll promote it and let people know about it for sure.
hopefully it'll be this Sunday if everything goes as planned, because I air every episode on Sundays,
Okay, okay,
so it'll be up. So, dude, have a great night, and don't hang up, okay? Just for a second.
okay,
Have a great night, and I will see you next time.
okay, man. Great talking to you.
What a great conversation with Will. I can't wait to do that Judas Priest discography. And, hey, let's hear some Death Angel he played on. Let's go in my vault. You know, what I've been saying throughout the show when we brought up Death Angel was, man, their recent stuff is so awesome, and there's a lot of people out there that, they're just sucking a time warp. Oh, yeah, Death Angel, I'm bored. Yeah, seemingly endless time, Act 3, I got that one. Or, the Ultraviolence, of course. The Ultraviolence is beyond classic. That is a historic thrash debut album. But, man, when they came back, The Art of Dying, Killing Season, Relentless Retribution, This Dream Calls for Blood, The Evil Divide, and Humanicide, they're all great albums that everybody out there that you haven't heard, the more recent Death Angel, you're really doing yourself a disservice if you love the old stuff. And if you're not even aware of the old stuff or the new stuff, you're doing yourself a disservice. So I hope some people out there are really going to get turned on by, what I'm about to play. And, it's a tough one because all these albums have great songs, but I said, you know what? I'm going to go with the 2013 release, this Dream Calls for Blood. And what opens this album, this song is a crusher. Turn this up. This is Death Angel with Left for Dead.
Process, you sick little plan. You buried the hope, but you can't kill the man. You're sanely
Damn That Song Skulls. Thank you, everybody that's still listening now. All you people that share my shows and enjoy my shows. I have many episodes still to put up. Actually, a total of 4. So, another month worth of stuff. But I got something planned for next weekend. Actually, somebody donated to do a Death Angel review. And this person didn't even know I interviewed Will Carroll. He just sent me the message today, and that is the great Metal Mike. He wants to do a Death Angel review, and I was like, dude, tomorrow I'm putting up a Death Angel, Will Carroll from Death Angel interview. He had no idea. And he wants to do something recent. He didn't say which album, but he said, I want to do like a more recent Death Angel. I was like, dude, that's what I've been stressing, man. I've been saying people need to know more about recent Death Angel. So that'll be coming up in 5 weeks, because I already got the next 4 weeks. And next week, I got another interview with somebody from, oh man, a classic thrash band. And the interview's already done, and they just released a new album that crushes as well, that you're going to want to hear it. It's an awesome interview. I'm very proud that I got to interview this person as well. It's been a great, great month, man. Actually, I interviewed him the day after I interviewed Will, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. You know, I got both, and I want to thank Wayne from Rat Salad Network for hooking that up. And he's got a traditional metal legend that I do not want to say because I don't want to jinx it, but believe me, if you're into traditional metal, you know who this guy is. And that may happen. I'm not sure. I don't want to jinx it. It hasn't been confirmed, but he's putting it out there because he's getting the information when these people can be interviewed. And he's trying, you know, to get me an interview with this person. So keep your fingers crossed because that will be epic as well. Thank you, everybody. Till next week. And there will be a new Viera Vault next week with another thrashing legend. Till next week, my friends. Smack 'em a gob.